Hey everyone, and welcome to this $1,400 stimulus check update and third stimulus package update. Well, we got some big news because the most powerful man in Washington just spoke this morning. Who is that man? No, not Joe Biden. That man's name is actually Joe Manchin. He is the senator that's been keeping Democrats up at night, wondering if he is actually going to block this stimulus package. Being that the new stimulus plan looks like it's going to be passed by Democrats only, most likely without any Republican votes. That puts Joe Manchin, the centrist in the Democrat Party, front and center. So what did he say about it? Well, that's coming up. Hey everyone, my name is Randy. Welcome back to the Late Night Grind, a new YouTube channel. I'm covering these stimulus package updates and putting out these videos as developments happen. So if you're new to the channel, go ahead, click that subscribe button below, and don't forget to hit that bell notification icon. That way you'll actually be notified when I release new videos as new developments happen. Also, the best thing you can do to help out a new YouTube channel like this is actually smashing that thumbs up button. If you do that, it greatly helps out with the YouTube algorithm, and I would greatly appreciate it. All right, let's get into it. So just this morning, Joe Manchin spoke to the press, and their first question, of course, was, Joe, not Joe Biden, Joe Manchin, what are we going to do about the stimulus? They actually asked him, is there a red line? Is there something in this stimulus package that if it is or isn't included, you will not vote for it, and making it extremely difficult for Democrats to pass it? And he basically just said, no, listen, here's what it is. The $1,400 stimulus checks are going to go out. His concern was a little bit more about the targeting, because the CARES Act and the last stimulus package, the stimulus checks went out to people making $75,000 or below as individuals and $150,000 and below as couples. But when they went through and looked at it, they actually saw that some families that were making $200,000, even $300,000 per year also received the stimulus checks, and which Republicans and Democrats both said, hold on, that's not what we wanted to happen. So he said, looking at the income limits, it's looking like they're probably going to drop some of these numbers, which Joe Biden has indicated. He's open to discussion in terms of who would be eligible for these next round of stimulus checks. Now, Joe Manchin mentioned something about $50,000 per individual and $100,000 per couple, but that's not set in stone. That's just what he had mentioned. And that's important, though, because a couple of weeks ago, he had said he was not in favor of $2,000 stimulus checks until everything was much more targeted. So that is key. And why is that key? Well, because as of yesterday, the Democrats were able to pass the reconciliation go-ahead, meaning they are now going to be opening things up for congressmen to give their thoughts, their opinions, their ideas, and that is going to help formulate the actual draft of what is voted on. In other words, the next step was already cleared. But in the words of Joe Manchin, in his mind, the biggest thing right now is money for vaccine distribution. He sees that as the biggest need to getting the economy back on track and actually making the stimulus payments mean something, because that's kind of what they're for. It's not just for people to pay their back due bills, but it's actually for them to go out and spend money so that the businesses that are open can continue to pay their employees, can continue to stay in business, and thus have a thriving economy. So after seeing Joe Manchin mention these things, I'm kind of doubting that the monthly stimulus check idea is probably going to be dead in the water, because it looks like Joe Manchin is not going to support that much spending. Unless you can somehow get bipartisan support from one or more Republicans, which that is unlikely as well. But specifically talking about the $1,400 stimulus checks, if you're looking for those checks, then this is very good news. If you're more fiscally conservative and you're looking at the fact that already $5 trillion has already been allocated, and they're looking at passing another $2 trillion, making a total of $7 trillion in stimulus in the past 12 months for various different things, that's a lot of debt. But that's all the information I got for you today, guys. I appreciate you watching this video. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys on the next video.